Hey everybody, Dano here from Everyday's Turkey Day, and today I'll be giving you, a short little quick review of Batman Detective Comics, the first trade paperback released in James Tynion the fourth's run, entitled Rise of the Batman. And this was drawn by Eddie Barros, Alvaro Martinez, and Al Barrio Nuevo. And even though there's 3 different artists on this, the art never abruptly changes and it never really takes you out of it because of it. So unless you're like really looking for it, you can't even really tell that there's 3 different artists on this. And so even though this is a Batman book, it is very much so a team book. In Batman, he is an integral part of the team, but he is not the star of the show. That goes on to Batwoman. But as far as the story goes, basically what happens is Azrael gets attacked by what you think is Batman. But when Batman goes to investigate and asks Azrael, like, hey, who did this to you? Who beat you up? He goes, Azrael goes, you did, Batman. Like, what are you talking about? So because of this, Batman knows something's afoot. There's a force or an entity or a group that's going to be on the rise and that, he's eventually going to have to deal with. So because of this, he assembles a team for that, possible eventual reality. So the first person he gets is Batwoman, who becomes the leader of this team and is really the star of this book. She had military experience. She's a great leader and basically is tasked with getting the rest of the group to operate as a team and to get them into, fighting shape, I guess you'd say. Now the other team members, you have Tim Drake as Red Robin making his return, and I really love that they brought him into this team, and especially because he's very much his own character now and on the same level as Batman. He's no longer in a sort of sidekick role. In terms of intelligence and fighting style, he's very much on par with Batman. I think if they were to get into a fight, Batman would still edge him out, but it wouldn't be like Batman just beating up a toddler, if you get what I'm saying. And now the other 3, teammates. One is Cassandra Cain, also known as Orphan, who doesn't really talk very much, but is definitely a person who kicks ass and takes names. We have Stephanie Brown, aka Spoiler, who her and Tim Drake have, a love connection. So that's a, really nice added part to the story and another dimension that works really well. And then last but not least, we have Clayface. And to be honest, that's the main reason why I picked up this book, aside from all the really good reviews I heard about it. But I was just interested, like, Clayface, he's a villain, like, how is he going to work into the story? And they do it really well. He's pretty much a character who's, looking for redemption. And, he ends up being one of my favorite characters in this. However, I really enjoy all these characters. Each one is really well written to where they have their own personality, their own voice, their own point of view. And in team-up books, that's really what you're looking for, because with some writers, they can tend to write it where even though there might be like 5, 6 different characters, all their opinions and ideas kind of mesh into just like sort of one entity where somebody could say something, but you could also give that line of dialogue to any of the other characters because, they're not really defined as well as they should be. But this book does a great job of doing that. So hats off to Tynion for that. And the story is just really fun. And so if you want to know the threat, this I guess is a little bit of a spoiler, but I'm not going to go super deep into it. Basically, it's a military operation that based their technology, their fighting style, and their tactics off of Batman. So if you imagine a military group full of Batmen, that's that's the threat in this book. And it's really just a fun story, really well written. Towards the end here, there's a part that made me tear up a little bit. It's not that crazy emotional, but it definitely will get to you. But I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah, I definitely say pick up this book if you're a fan of kind of the Batman universe, or I guess if you're just a comic book fan in general. So if I had to give this a rating, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. It's good, read it, and yeah. So thank you for listening to my review, and hopefully I'll see you here next time. Peace.